Okay, I'm ready to go live. Yep, go ahead. Okay. Well, good afternoon. We welcome you to Cox Softball Complex on the campus of Central Methodist University. We got a softball doubleheader taking on Graceland there on a cloudy, a little overcast, but we have some Dodger blue skies peeking through this clouds there. Quentin Norris singing in the micro seat. Nah. Catbird seat, Central Methodist 18-4, 2-0 in the conference, head coached by Pat Reardon. While Graceland, they're 9-17. They're 2-0 in the conference. Their head coach is Todd Verwers. Central Methodist yesterday, they swept the doubleheader with Mid-American Nazarene. They won the first game 10-2, scoring 4 more in the third inning on the home runs by Daly Garland. And then Elizabeth Palumbo hit the 2-run home run there. That gave Central Methodist a lead there. And then 6 more there as well, including a second home run by Elizabeth Palumbo, which happened to be yesterday's her mom Suzanne's birthday as well. So a great birthday present for her. Not only 2 victories, but 2 home runs and 3 RBIs as well. And then the second game, they won it 12-6. In that second game, they started out pretty good. 7 runs in the first inning. And I think they took 13 men to the plate there. Then they added 3 more in the second. Then Mid-America added a run in the third. And Central Methodist added a run more in the third inning. And then a 4th spot in the 5th inning that made it 11-5. And then once it was 11-6, and then Central Methodist added the 12th run there on the RBI single by Madison Roberts there for that 12-6 victory there as well. Well, Graceland, they played a couple of conference games. They won both games against Peru State. They won the first game 3-2 and then 5-4. If you look at these numbers there, for Graceland, Paige Pilot is the leading hitter, 328 hitter, no homers, 2 RBI. For Central Methodist, it's Maddie Holly, 433 hitter, 1 homer, and 19 RBIs. Pitching-wise, Sammy Bradshaw, 5-6, 2.32 ERA, 9 walks, and 131 strikeouts there. Haley Cotter is the number 1 pitcher there for Central Methodist, 8-1, 2.15 ERA. He got win number 8 yesterday as well, 16 walks and 28 strikeouts. Upcoming events going to fall on the CMU and on the national sports scene there as well. Of course, Wednesday, an NHL game there on TNT. It's the New Jersey Devils taking on the Chicago Blackhawks there on TNT. I think pregame show at 6 o'clock p.m. with your host Liam McEwen and with Anson Carter and Henry Richter. And, of course, Kenny Albert and Eddie Olczyk will have the play-by-play for you there as well, along with Darren Pang and Jackie Redmond. Then, of course, Thursday, it is opening day of the Major League Baseball season. What an exciting time there. It starts at 2 p.m. there with the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the New York Yankees on Yankee Stadium. There, then the Kansas City Royals, they opened up their 2025 season taking on the Cleveland Guardians at 3:10 p.m. from Kauffman Stadium at 3:15 p.m. The St. Louis Cardinals again their 2025 season taking on the Minnesota Twins there from Kauffman, taking on from Busch Stadium as well. And then at 6 o'clock tonight is, of course, the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Detroit Tigers from 1000 Vince Scully Drive there as well at Dodger Stadium. And I want to say a shout out to one of my newest friends on Twitter, Olivia Garvey, who works for KTLA. So, Olivia, if you're going to be listening to the broadcast, I want to say hi. Her dad, Steve, played baseball for the Dodgers as well. So, I want to say hi to Steve Garvey there. Steve, if you're listening in, Steve, I want to tell you hi there. And then also Friday on the NHL Network, it's an NHL game between the Utah Hockey Club and the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers there as well. Of course, then baseball there as well, starting at, of course, softball and baseball Saturday. We've got William Penn for a doubleheader. Of course, they split a doubleheader. They took 3 out of 4 from Clark this past weekend there. Pre-game show 12:45, first pitch 1 o'clock, second game at 3:30. Softball, they'll be on the road at Clark. Doubleheader starts at 1 and 3. And then the Cardinals take on the Minnesota Twins at 1:15 p.m. And, of course, they're honoring Nate Breland in his 400th victory. Graceland there being honored. 400 victories happened last February is there as well. So they're having a little ceremony there. So also Cleveland, Kansas City Royals in their second game. They'll take on the Cleveland Guardians, 3:10 from Kauffman Stadium there. Also on Fox Television, the season premiere of Fox Baseball, 6:15 p.m. Someone will probably see the New York Mets take on the Houston Nationals. The other one will probably be the Atlanta Braves take on the San Diego Padres. And then also NHL game on Saturday night on ABC television. The Boston Bruins take on the Detroit Red Wings there. Of course, in the standings, you got Park on top 4-0, 16-6. And then you got Central Methodist and a five-way jam there at both 2-0. It's 18-4. William Penn 2-0, 18-8. Grandview 13-9. Baker 2-0, 11-8. Graceland is 2-0, 9-17. Then a tie for 7th, you got Benedictine 1-1, 16-12. Mount Mercy 1-1, 9-13. Then you have a three-way tie for 9th. You got Peru State 0-2, 3-16. Clark 0-2, 5-7 altogether. Culver Stockton 0-2, 5-19, and then a tie for 12. Mid-American Nazarene and Missouri Valley both 0-4 and 7 and Mid-American Nazarene 7-17. Mo Valley 7-19 all together. So we're about ready to get started there. Whitten Norris here, calling from the catbird seat. There at Central Methodist softball field. Maybe one of these days they should rename the street 1000 Pat Reardon Way. Just like they did several years ago when they named City Field, the street of City Field, 41 Seaver Wave. Of course, to give you the starting lineup. That is, of course, Joey Kreider out there. Elizabeth Palumbo. That's Maddie Roberts. Maddie Holly. That's Casey Jolly. It's Lauren Hill. Rachel Brand. Michaela Albert. Daly Garland. Chloe Perkins. Starting lineups, the national anthem prayer. We're about ready to get started. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by the Exchange Bank of Missouri there Out in left field, Michaela Albert there. Out in center field, Casey Jolly. In right field, Rachel Brandt. Out at third base, Maddie Holly. The shortstop, Madison Roberts. At second base, Daly Garland. First baseman, Elizabeth Palumbo. The catcher, Lauren Hill. And that's Chloe Perkins there, today's starting pitcher. 1-1, 8.31 ERA, 9 walks, 5 strikeouts from Wichita, Kansas. Beautiful town there. I remember my first time I remember Wichita was watching the bowling tournament. The Pro Bowler Series used to come on a Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock with announcer Chris Schenkel. That was a nice bowling tournament. And one time there was a AA team, I think before they moved to Arkansas, that was an affiliate of the Kansas City Royals there as well. Gave you today's starting lineups there as well, sponsored by the Exchange Bank of Missouri. Caitlin Cook will lead off, play second base, followed by Jada Gay. Then Sammy Bradshaw there. Then Katie Van Mark. As Caitlin Cook will be the batter. 327 hitter, no homers, and 2 RBIs. We're about ready to get started. Quentin Norris on the microphone. Fans are all watching it. As Ben Scully said, let's pull up a chair there. And that's a strike call. Came at 12:57 p.m. Temperature about 55 degrees. The time and temperature sponsored by the Parking Spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The Parking Spot. It's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. After Charlie Peters up there, and then Elia Farrell hits a grounder to Holly, to Palumbo, and there's 1 down now. 5-3 on your scorecard there. And here's Jada Gay. A 184 hitter, 1 homer, 16 RBIs. She is from a town of Martinsdale, Iowa. Also in the bottom, in the 7th spot there, Brooklyn Glasgow. That's a ball inside there. Braylon Woodham. And then, of course, Paige Pilot. He's starting pitcher. 1-0 the count. Perkins gets the sign in a pitch. Ball 2 there. 2 balls and no strike. Now the cloud. Now I see some Dodger blue sky starting to peek through the clouds there. 2-0 pitch is a liner. Ho-ho! I tell you what, as Kurt Gowdy would say on NBC television, she has come from another world. And here is Sammy Bradshaw there. 229 hitter, no homers, 15 RBI. Where's the number 42? Like another famous 42, Jackie Robinson. There's a strike called a 1947 National League Rookie of the Year. And one of my favorite stories about it was watching Ken Burns' baseball. Outside 1-1. I tell you what, my dad was a Dodger fan. It's because of Jackie Robinson came to the big leagues on April 15th. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, Perkins to Palumbo. A 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning on the Hart Conference Network. No score, but we're going to set the defense for you there. And it's sponsored by Casey's. Here. Well, in left field there's Sammy Bradshaw. That's Charlie Peters in center field. And right field, that's Candace Winglars, who is the flex player there. Now in the infield, that's Braylon Woodham. That is Jada Gay at shortstop. Second baseman, Caitlin Cook. The first baseman, Elia Farrell. The catcher, it is Brooklyn Glasgow. And today's starting pitcher, it is Paige Pilot. 1-8, 9.15 ERA, 16 walks, 21 strikes. A left-handed pitcher out there. Give you the starting lineups for Central Methodist. That's Joey Cryer, the DP. Elizabeth Palumbo's at first base. Madison Roberts at shortstop. Maddie Holly's at third base. Casey Jolly's in center field. Lauren Hill, the catcher. That's Rachel Brandt in right field. Michaela Albert. And Daly Garland, and as Joey Kreider comes to bat there. 375 hitter, 4 homers, 23 RBIs. That's a ball inside. She is from a town of Eagle, Idaho. 1-0 to count. A lefty-lefty matchup, 1-0 pitch. There's a strikeout. When you think of page 5, she reminds me of a pitcher named Sandy Koufax. When Sandy Koufax would warm up, it doesn't matter if it's at Dodger Stadium, Busch Stadium, or Candlestick, the fans always gave him a standing ovation when he gets done warming up in the bullpen area before the Dodgers play. 1-2 the count, the 1-2 pitch. Slaps that one foul. And the count is 1-2. 1-2 the count on Joey Kreider. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Just to, or as Ben Scully used to say, that is called a showcase pitch. Trying to get the batter to swing and miss out of the strike zone. 2-2 the count. Slaps that one foul, or as Joe Garagiola say, that is called protecting the plate. 2-2 the count on Joey Kreider. Hits a little pop-up in the center field. Center goes back. Has some room. Makes the catch for out number 1. Here is Elizabeth Palumbo. In that first game of that doubleheader yesterday, she had 2 homers and 3 RBIs. Wished her on her mom Suzanne's birthday. I had a great visit with her mom Suzanne. Also, her Suzanne's best friend is Kendra down in Arkansas. 429 hitter, 5 homers, 29 RBIs. And there's a strike on the inside corner there. Had a great visit with Elizabeth, Suzanne, and the dog. Lines a shot in the left, and the left fielder makes the catch for out number 2. Here is Madison Roberts up there, a 4-15 hitter. 4 homers, 15 RBIs. Actually, a 403 hitter from Elkhart, Illinois, around the Chicago area. The first pitch. Times I remember watching Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. I remember Harry Carey used to say Elkhart a number of times. Every time when somebody made the trip to Wrigley Field. The 1-0 pitch. And there's a strike call. One of the things I always remember about Harry, he always sang, "Take me out to the ball game" from Wrigley Field. 1 ball, 1 strike on Madison Roberts. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1 now with Maddie Holly on deck. Two-one pitch. Oh, ball 3. 3-1 now with Maddie Holly on deck. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 pitch. Slaps that one in the center field. Center field going back. It's off the wall there. Holly is headed to second. She's in there. Madison Roberts with a 2-out double went off the wall there. First hit of the game there. And now here's Maddie Holly. 433 hitter, a homer, 19 RBIs from Wilsonville, Oregon. I want to say hi to her family there as well. That is her dad, Brad, and her mom, Samantha. There's a strike call, and the count is 0-1. Her on deck is Casey Jolly. So far, we have maybe the first 5 hitters in the lineup, all batting left-handed. Inside there, 1-1. Just like the great Casey, I think Casey Stengel used to do that a lot when he was the manager of the Yankees back in the from 49 to 1960. Ground ball, second baseman has it, throws over the first for the third out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1. We head to the top of the second inning. It is no score there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, no hits, no errors for Graceland. As Katie Vandymark up the bat. Vandymark is the batter. 322 hitter, homer, 12 RBIs from Norwalk, Iowa. Where's the number 41? Like another famous 41, one of my heroes, Tom Seaver, who has started opening day 19 times. Still has the record for the most starts on opening day. Most notably with the New York Mets, part of that New York Mets team that won a world championship. They were the Miracle Mets. There's a strike call, 0-2 there. He was the ace of the state, winning 25 ball games there. Won his 300th game on it. And this year will be the 40th anniversary of his 300th win against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium back on August the 4th. And the amazing thing is, about 30 minutes later, Rod Carew got his 3,000th hit against the Minnesota Twins. 1-2 pitch. Little ground ball. There's a base hit to right field. Throws over there trying to get the runner, but he's in there. First hit of the game there. And now here's Charlie Peters, also from Norwalk, Iowa. 244 hitter, no homers, 9 RBIs. Perkins settling down, talks to the softball. Now they bring the bunt in, and it's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes there. 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes on Charlie Peters. The 1-0 pitch. Lays down a beautiful bunt. Holly throws over to Daly Garland for the out. So a sac bunt. That is 5-4 on your scorecard. And there's 1 down now for Elia Farrell from San Antonio, Texas. That's where my good friend Bobby Scrumloff lives. Farrell, 233 hitter, no homers, 7 RBI. Also another friend named Becca Rogers played basketball, member of the Hall of Fame. Of course, Bobby Strong played baseball and was recently inducted into the Central Methodist Hall of Fame this past January. 0-1 to count. 0-1 now. It's a little pop-up in the left field. I think Albert is there to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs now for Brooklyn Glasgow. 175 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs from Ladonia. Went to Community R6 High School just east of Mexico on Highway 54. And then you get to Highway 19. And I remember if you go down 19 at the triangle, it will take you to Vandalia, Missouri. 0-1 to count. That's a nice stop there by Lauren Hill. 1-1 there. Of course, I remember going there numerous times on the way to Crystal Lake, Illinois. 1-1 pitch. It's a little pop-up there. Albert drops it. Oh, my. That'll be an error on Albert. Had trouble with it in the sun as the clouds were rolling in there, but now it's first and third. That'll probably be an error. They're giving a hits. I think that should be an error. That's Braylon Woodham up there. 080 hitter, no homers, 3 RBIs. That's a 1-0 to count from Maysville, Missouri, just north of Cameron there. Remember going to that town on the way to my grandma and grandpa's house. Going down Highway 36 and you turn on Highway 31 there. Swing and a miss, 1-1 there. They're giving her a hit there, so I thought if I was the official scorer, I'd probably put an error there because she dropped it. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. Oh, nice stop by Lauren Hill. Here comes the runner. Here's the throw. I think they got her. Yes, she did. Oh, baby. What a play. What a job by Lauren Hill. Hustling to the ball. Makes a great throw and got Van Vaney mark on it. How about that? So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is no score there. No, it's not. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Graceland. No runs, 1 hit, no errors there as Casey Jolly out there. 319 hitters, 3 homers, 17 RBIs from Nampa, Idaho. First pitch, there is a strike call. 0-1 now. I want to say hi to her mom, Teresa, listening in from Nampa, Idaho. The 0-1 now. Ooh, inside there. 1-1 now. What a... 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both teams 2-0 in the conference. A good start can lead you to great things. Or as Vin Scully would call that one, that is called a showcase pitch. Trying to get the batter to swing and miss out of the strike zone. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. It's a high pop foul, and that is out of play, and the count is 2-2. Pat Reardon coaching the 3rd. That looks like Morgan Wilson is in the first base coach's box. 2-2 pitch. It's a high pop foul. Logan back our way. Now, if we were in the upper part of Dodger Stadium, that would have been right around the 4th deck of Dodger Stadium, and usually Rick Monday would have to go after it. 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now. Usually it's either Rick Monday or Oral Hershiser. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. It's a high fly ball in the left field. Left fielder has it. Makes the catch for out number 1. And there's 1 down now for Lauren Hill. 365, 216 RBIs from California. I want to say hi to her dad, Brian, who's here today. I just saw him just a few moments ago. Boy, I tell you what, you got to give credit for Lauren Hill. Made a spectacular play behind home plate. Threw to Chloe Perkins for the play at the plate. First pitch. A ball out there. I tell you what, her mindset, she reminds me of another famous player other than Johnny Bench, Yogi Berra. Also another one, the great Roy Campanella. The 1-0, it's a ground ball. Shortstop knocks it down. That's in the center field. I have a feeling that should be an error right there. I have a feeling that's going to be an error because I know if Vin Scully was keeping score, Vin Scully would call that an error. Oh, they're going to give her a hit. That's okay. That was a wicked shot. Hit the wrist there. As Rachel Brandt is the batter. 364 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs from Tigard, Oregon, around the Portland area. And the count is 1-0. So that's a hit. So both teams have 2 hits so far. The 1-0 pitch. The 1-0. It's a high fly ball in the left center field. It's well hit up against the wall there. Hill is rounding third. She's being waved around. There is no throw to the plate, and the Central Methodist leads it 1-0 on a ringing double by Rachel Brandt. And that's her 9th of the year, and it's a 1-0 lead there. Here's Michaela Albert. 333 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs on Tomball, Texas, around the Houston area. Of course, they're playing the New York Mets on opening day. One of my favorite pitchers used to pitch for the Houston Astros, a guy named Nolan Ryan. And one of his best moments, he threw his 5th career no-hitter back in 1981 against the Los Angeles Dodgers on NBC television. Of course, he began his career with the New York Mets, part of that 1969 Mets team. Of course, he was famous for striking out Frank Robinson in the 3rd game of the 1969 World Series to end with a 5-0 victory. Outside, 2-1 now. Where his first career no-hitter for Nolan Ryan came in 1973, May 15th, 1973, against the Kansas City Royals. That was Grandma Norris's 60th birthday. And he rips a liner in the center field. There's a base hit. They're going to hold the runners at 1st and 3rd now. And here's Daly Garland up there. 346 here, 2 homers, 20 RBIs from Woodridge, Illinois, around the Chicago area. Of course, I know I've had a great visit with her family there. Chicago Blackhawks, and of course, one of my favorite one does the television portion of it. Eddie Olczyk. A strike call. And see, Albert steals 2nd. I always thought maybe they may pull the old double steal trick. The last player that ever stole home in a World Series, Tim McCarver did that in Game 7 in the 1964 World Series. 0-1 pitches a ground ball to the shortstop. Throws over the first for the out, but she did her job perfectly. Branch scores on the ground out. Albert moves to 3rd. That, as Vince Scully used to say, that is called a productive out. And for Garland, that's 21 RBIs on the year. Here's Joe Cryer, flew out to center field her first time up there. So a 2-0 lead there. Even though it's 1, but it should be 2-0. 1-0 the count. Fouls it to the screen, and the count is 1-1. 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike, 1-1 pitch. 2-1 now. Albert's at 3rd. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, base hit. Here comes Albert. 3-0 Central Methodist. Doing everything, doing the small things with 2 outs there, as Krieger has 24 RBIs on the year. There's Elizabeth Palumbo, flew out to left field her first time up. It's a high pop up there. Let's see who calls for it. Shortstop is there for the 3rd out. So we got 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Central Methodist 3 and Graceland nothing. What a beautiful sight. Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Graceland. And here is so Braylon Weehan was at bat when Katie Van Mark was thrown out at home there on that pass ball. Otherwise, it could have been 1-0 Graceland. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 now. No balls and 2 strikes on Braylon Weenham. Beautiful Maysville, Missouri. And then if you go west there on Highway 6, you go to a town called King City. A fly ball in the center fielder. Center field right in front of the warning track is Casey Jolly for out number 1. Hit it pretty good, but there's 1 out now. Here's Paige Pelat. 328 hitter, no homers, 2 RBIs. Came in as the team's leading hitter there. It's also today's starting pitcher. Their best pitcher for Graceland we'll probably see in Game 2, Sammy Bradshaw. Strike 1 there. Of course, I think leads the conference at that time, 131 strikeouts. 1-1 the count there. Pour toward left. See Jolly playing more left. 1-1 the count. Outside, 2-1. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 from Perkins. It's a little pop up there. That may go out of play. That's usually in the area where the baseball commissioner, Rod Manford, usually would sit at during the games there. I see Thomas Brent there as well. Cassidy's dad. Had a great visit with him yesterday as well. 2-2 pitch. Chops that one foul. At least Maddie Holly did not do like William Randall used to do for the Seattle Mariners back in the 70s. Blow the baseball foul. And I remember that from watching This Week in Baseball at Mel Allen. 2-2 the count. Little change up. Let's see who goes for it. Oh, what a catch on Lauren Hill. Boy, she ran that thing down like Johnny Bench used to do that a lot for the Cincinnati Reds. And there's 2 quick outs there. Caitlin Cook grounded out to Maddie Hawley, her first time up. Slaps that one to Hawley. Boy, she plays at third base like Brooks Robinson used to do that a lot for the Baltimore Orioles on a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is 3-0 Central Methodist. All right. Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Graceland. As Madison Roberts comes to bat. She doubled off the center field wall there. As Madison Roberts is the batter. Three big runs in that 2nd inning. And really, the change in the momentum happened in that top of the 2nd inning. Remember when Graceland had runners at 1st and 3rd. A ball went into the backstop. Lauren Hill hustled through to Chloe Perkins to nail down Van Lurk. Katie Van Mark at home plate. 1-1 to count. And then after that, Central Methodist scored 3 big runs there. Make it 3-0. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to count. Two and one now on Madison Roberts. 2-1 pitch. Lines a shot in the right field. There's a base hit. Oh, it gets by the right fielder. But Roberts is thinking 2. She's thinking 3. And that is a trouble. Oh, she's thinking inside the park. Here's the throw. Not in time. And inside the park home run. How about that? Boy, when she ran what Ichiro did in the 2007 All-Star game. Yeah. A strike call. Oh, that's a ball outside. So it's an inside the park home run for Maddie Holly. Her second of the year. RBI number 20. 0-1 now. Low liner, and it's caught by the second baseman. Boy, hit that one on the screws. So Roberts hits the homer. There's Casey Jolly. Flew out the left fielder first time. For Roberts, has 5 homers, 16 RBIs now. Even though it's an error, but I'm going to give her a home run. A fly ball hit well in the center field. Center goes back. Oh, what a catch by the center fielder. Just like Willie Mays did in the 1954 World Series. When back then, the Polo Grounds was 460 feet. He had to go run back and had to catch it over his shoulder. So 2 outs now for Lauren Hill. Singled her first time out. Looks like a new pitcher on the mound. The call of the bullpen is sponsored by Dairy Queen. So a new pitcher on the mound. Let's see who the new pitcher is. So Katie Vandermark is the new pitcher. 1-0, 7.18 ERA. 9 walks, 2 strikeouts. Started down as the designated player. So it looks like Pyatt will be the DP, and then Vandermark will be the right fielder. Will be today's pitchers there. So 2 in the third inning. So 2 2/3 so far. So Roberts has 5 homers, 16 RBIs. Holly has a homer and 19 RBIs. So we got the stats correct. So a 4-0 lead as Lauren Hill singled her first time. That was right after she made a spectacular play at home plate in that top of the second inning there. And scored the first run of the game. And the first pitch. That's outside. 1-0 now. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 hits a little ground ball to the third base, knocks it down. Throw not in time. That would be an error on the third baseman. No question about it. That should be an error on the third baseman. That was one of those. Should have been handled cleanly. And I know Mike Schmidt and George Brett and many others would make that play perfectly. Here's Rachel Brandt. Doubled and drove in a run her first time up there. Who has 9 RBIs on the year. First pitch. There's a strike call. 0-1 the count there. The 0-1 now. Outside, 1-1. Michaela Albert is on deck. One pitch. I stop, and the count is 2-1 with Lauren Hill Reached on an error. Of course, 4-0 on an inside the park home run by Madison Roberts. 2 outs. 2-0 pitch. 2-1 hits at the ground ball to third. Throws over the first. Nice stretch there by the first baseman for the third out. So 1 run on 1 hit. There was 2 errors. And leaves 1. We head to the 4th inning. Central Methodist 4, Graceland nothing. On the Art Conference Network. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits and 2 errors for Graceland as Jada Gay up there lined out to third. Hit that one on the screws there. Or as Kurt Gowdy would say about Maddie Holly, she came from another world. Good crowd out there today. We got several out in the center field areas. And looks like Lauren Hill wants to talk it over with Chloe Perkins, who's done well there. So Perkins pitched the third of an inning in Game 2 yesterday against Mid-American Nazarene. Did a great job, did a fine job there, but today she's looked better. Especially with a 4-0 lead to work with. They're checking maybe the footing on the pitcher's mound there or something. But now the infield and along with Lauren Hill go out there and have a little conference. Making sure everything is all situated. And we should be ready to go there as we head to the top of the 4th inning there. There's Jada Gay up there. And the first pitch. That is a ball. 1-0 to count. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 to count. 1-0 pitch. Hits the ground ball to Holly. Holly throws over to Palumbo for out number 1. Boy, she's played well at third. Reminds me of what Brooks Robinson used to do that a lot. Known as the human vacuum cleaner. And Sammy Bradshaw grounded out to Chloe Perkins her first time up. First pitch. Ball 1 there, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to count. Every time when you think of Chloe Perkins, she reminds me of one pitcher, the great Tom Seaver. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 to count. Three balls and no strikes. Ball 4 now to Bradshaw, so a walk. And here is Katie Vandy Marks. Singled her first time up through the right side there. And looks like a courtesy runner. I think it is number 14, Aubrey Hansen from Afton, Iowa, is the courtesy runner. Aubrey Hansen is the courtesy runner. So Katie Vandermark singled. Chloe Perkins has a 4-0 lead to work with. Brooks on the bat there, and he fouls it off. Strike one. On 1 to count. Wants a new softball there. Gets it back to Chloe Perkins. Count is 0-1 now. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No errors. 2 hits and 2 errors for Graceland. The 0-1 now. It's a little chopper to the second inning. Garland to Roberts. The first, not in time. So fielder's choice. And there's 1 out now. Actually, 2 quick outs. Charlie Peters reached on a sacked bunt her first time up. Graceland was playing a little small ball. It's a grounder. Holly has it. Throws over the front. Not in time. I have a feeling that would be an error right there. I have a feeling that's going to be an error right there. I know Brooks Robinson's made a lot of plays like that. So Leah Farrell up there flew out to Michaela Albert her first time up. First pitch. There's a strike, even though I think they're going to give her a hit there. 0-1 to count. Perkins goes through that. Checks the pitch count there, and it's a strike 2 count. 0-2 the count. No, doesn't look like it. If it was me scoring, I probably would. 0-2 pitch. High pop up there. Hill gives it a chase. Oh, she makes another catch. As Mel Allen would say on This Week in Baseball. How about that? No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2. We are halfway home. It is 4-0 Central Methodist. I bet you like that one. Just if it was me keeping score. Well, because of course at the times you have known me, because if I was keeping, because I watched baseball games a lot, and so I know how baseball announcers keep scores. And I've seen plays like that, and I've seen baseball announcers call it errors.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, because I kind of pick up things from watching on television. I thought that'd be. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 3 hits and 2 errors for Graceland. As Michaela Albert up there, she singled her first time up there. Of course, Thursday the Houston Astros take on the New York Mets. I know my buddy Ron Darling will be down there, along with Gary Cohen on the SN Network, on the New York Mets television network. First pitch. Ooh, way outside. Ball 1 there. That's Kalina Oots, who I had a picture taken on by selfie just right before the pregame show, coaching at first base. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. Ooh, outside. 2-0 here. 2 balls and no strikes on Michaela Albert. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike call. 2-1 now. An interesting thing about the Houston Astros, if you remember a few years ago, we had a baseball player named Robbie Merced. His great-grandpa was Bill Verdon. Fouls it off there. His great-grandpa was Bill Verdon. He was the manager of the Houston Astros when they won the division championship back in 1980 in a 1-game playoff against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I still remember watching that on television. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball to third. Third baseman has it and throws over the first for out number 1. I remember watching that with my grandma, Lena Mae Norris. Daly Garland grounded out the short, but did drive in a run on a very productive out there. That made the score made it 2-0 there. And first pitch. That's a ball, and then third run came on the RBI single by Joey Kreider, and then Madison Roberts hit the inside the park home run and made it 4-0. The 1-0 pitch, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes as Joey Kreider's on deck. Two balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch hits a little chopper to the third baseman. First goes over to first, and they got her. So 2 quick outs now, and sets up Joey Kreider. 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. For Kreider, has 24 RBIs on the season. I know her mom, Kristen, is listening in. And the first pitch. Oh, outside. 1-0 now. The junior there looking forward to meeting her family. Hopefully at one of the softball games next year. Or maybe later on this year. Misses that one there. That was a good job of framing it by the catcher from Graceland. Brooklyn Glasgow. 2-0 pitch. Inside there, and the inside corner, 2-1 now. Two balls and a strike on Joey Kreider. Here's the pitch. It's a high fly ball in the right field. Right fielder goes back, away, back, and it's gone. A home run for Joey Kreider. Her 5th of the year, RBI number 24. And gives Central Methodist a 5-0 lead there. That was hit pretty good. And the only question, would it go over the fence or maybe hit the top of the fence and maybe get a double? But instead, it's a 5-0 lead there. And so Elizabeth Palumbo, 0 for 2. Flew out the left in the first and popped the short in the second. First pitch, it's a foul ball there, strike 1 there. Should be 7 hits for Central Methodist, according to my scoreboard. Even though the scoreboard is 6, but it's 7, yep. Palumbo up there, and the count is 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Ball, 1-1 now. 1 ball and a strike. One and one to count, no 1-1. Hits the grounder to the first for the third out. But Central Methodist gets 1 run on 1 hit. Thanks to a home run by Joey Kreider has given Central Methodist a 5-0 lead. And as we head to the top of the 5th inning. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Graceland. As Brooklyn Glasgow up there singled. Her first time up there. Top of the 5th inning. Boy, Chloe Perkins is looking sharp. And that's a ball there. 1-0 to count. 1-0 to count on Brooklyn Glasgow. The 1-0. 2-0 to count. Of course, our high school is Community R6. They are, of course, remember the Central Activities Conference. A little time called Looks like a cup went onto the field there. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike call. Takes it all the way. 3-1 now. 5-0. Of course, Thursday opening day. Major League Baseball. 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4 there. Second walk issued by Chloe Perkins. And here is there's Braylon Woodhound. Flew out to Casey Jolly in center field. Perkins looking good so far. Ball 1 there, as looks like the old fake throw trick there by. It looks like a courtesy runner coming in there. That's number 12. That is Elijah Hernandez Jimenez from Windsor, Missouri. If you know Windsor, it is about 30 miles like southwest of Sedalia on Highway 52. And I can remember that, even though I don't remember going into town, but my high school coach, Jeff Tevenkamp, used to coach football at Windsor High School. And back at the time when he was the football coach, the entire, both the visiting and home team sideline were on one sideline. Strike call, 1-1 now. And then, of course, they divided the field. You had to stop. They go from like the 25-yard line to about the 40. I think there was the 20 to the 40-yard lines. I think what Coach Stevenkamp told me this, even though it's been 35 years since he's told me that story. 0-1-2 count. 2-2 now. Paige Pilot is on deck. 2-2 pitch. Little fly ball in the right field. I think Brant is there to make the catch for out number 1. So 1 out now for Paige Pilot. Popped out to Lauren Hill her first time up. First pitch. There's a strike call, and the count is 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Ball 1, and the count is 1-1. On deck is Caitlin Cook. 1-1 now. At first base, Brooklyn Glasgow. Nice job of framing it, as Joe Garagiola used to say on NBC television. And the count is 1-2. Cox Softball Complex shivering with its concrete foundations. It's a little change up to Palumbo. She'll take it herself for the third out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Actually 2 outs now. A little bit ahead of myself there, but that's okay. As Caitlin Cook up there, both hit ground 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs to Maddie Holly. So she's at second with 2 outs. Chloe Perkins is looking good. And there's a strike call on 1 now. Today's attendance, 41,409. Millions are watching on television across the world. 0-1 now as a grounder knocks it down. Roberts backs it up. That'll be an infield hit, no question about it. That was a tough little play there. That was a good effort there by Chloe Perkins trying to knock the ball down, keeping it in play. So now it's the runners at the corners there for Jada Gay, who is 0 for 2. Lined out to Holly, and then grounded out to Maddie Holly. Ball 1 there. I think the last time we had a runner at third for Graceland, that came in the second inning when Katie Vandenmark was thrown at home on that possible pass ball attempt. 2-0 the count. 2-0 to count there. Sammy Bradshaw on them. Most likely will start game 2. Came in there as the pitcher's leading strikeout pitcher. Came in there, I believe, 131 strikeouts. I think that leads the conference there. 2-1 now. It's a little fly ball. Looks like a pop-up. And Roberts makes the catch for the 3rd out. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors. And they lead 2. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Central Methodist 5. Graceland nothing on the Heart Conference Network. Five runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Graceland. Here's Madison Roberts up there, 2 for 2, a double, and an inside the park home run in the 3rd inning there. I would tell you probably one of the most exciting plays there. I remember an inside the park home hit by Ichiro in the 2007 All-Star game. That was at AT&T Park. That hit to like the deepest park of maybe the right center field area. Roberts at bat. Here's the first pitch. Rise the old. That's a bit high. 1-0. I thought maybe Madison Roberts would do like the great Maury Wills used to do that. The old run up and bunt play. Of course, Maury Wills was the master of that. 2-0 to count. 2-0 to count. 2 balls and no strikes. Hits a little liner in the center field. Drops it in there. Boy, a great effort there. And I believe that would be a base hit. That was a good effort there by the center fielder, but just dropped in there. That's 8 hits now for Central Methodist. Here's Matty Holly, 0 for 2. Grounded to second. Lined out to second. The first pitch. That is a ball. 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1, of course, April 1st. TBS's first Major League Baseball game, which will be the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees pregame show at 5:30 p.m. with Lauren Shahadi, your host. Insider, along with Curtis Grandison, Jimmy Rollins, and Pedro Martinez. And I believe Brian Anderson, Ron Darling will have the play-by-play for you at 6 o'clock from Yankee Stadium. 2-1 to count. 3-1 now. What a great experience. If you had never seen a baseball game, either on television or in person from Yankee Stadium, that's something you should try to do. It is worth it. And it's ball 4 there. So first and second, nobody out. If Central Methodist can get 3 more runs there, they can win on the 8-run rule there. As Casey Jolly up there, 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Flew out to left in the second, flew out to center in the third. And looks like a courtesy runner. Kayla Richardson from Greenwood, Arkansas is the courtesy runner for Madison Roberts there. Around the Little Rock, Arkansas area there. And now it looks like a courtesy runner, 28. Estella Hutzman from Nostrum, Missouri, home of the Whiteman Air Force Base. Remember going there back in May of 1989 with several of the junior high students from going there with a group of student council members from junior high. along with elementary principal Andre Peterson. Brooke Teal is the courtesy runner. 1-0 to count there. There's a strike, 1-1 now. One ball, one strike. That's missed. 2-1 now. Richardson, the courtesy runner for Roberts, is at second. Teal is the courtesy runner for Holly. He's at first. 2-1 pitch. It's a high fly ball. Let's see who calls for it. Shortstop is there for out number 1. And now Lauren Hill up there, 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch. That's outside. 1-0 now. On deck is Rachel Brandt. Carter has 25 RBIs and 5 home runs on the year. 2-0 to count. Brandt on deck. 5-0 lead for Central Methodist. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0 now. To count. 3-0 pitch. Makes it all the way. 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike on Lauren Hill. 3-1 pitch. It's a high pop up there. Center fielder calls for it. Oh, she dropped it. Oh, my. That would be an error on the center fielder there. No question about it. That should have been caught. Should have been caught out there. And now the base is loaded full of Eagles now. So now a courtesy runner. Chelsea Gleba is the courtesy runner. There's Rachel Brandt up there. 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI there. So now it looks like as we head toward the 2 o'clock hour, Brandt up there. Aces loaded for Eagles. Richardson at third. Teal's at second. Gleba's at first. First pitch. Ball 1, and it's 1-0 to count there. Second game to follow around 3 o'clock, so we could start early. Why not? 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. Nice stop there. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes on Rachel Brandt. Brandt has 9 RBIs on the year. 3-0 to count. 3 balls and no strikes. 5-0 lead there. 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4, and a run will score. And it's 6-0. 2 RBIs already on the day for Rachel Brandt. So now Michaela Albert 1 for 2 with a single. So 6-0 lead for Central Methodist. And the bases are still full of Eagles. the score says 5, but it should be 6 according to my scorebook. I have a scorebook. So 6-0 lead there. 6-0 lead, and the first pitch coming up from Michaela Albert. Ball 1, 1-0. Daly Garland on deck. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. 2-0 the count. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. That's missed. 3-0 to count. 3 balls and no strikes on Michaela Albert. 3-0 pitch. Takes it all the way. 3-1 now. Albert with 4 RBIs on here. 3-1 to count. 3-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner, and it's 3-2 now. Went from 3-0 to 3-2. 3-2 to count. 3-2 pitch. Lines it. There's a base hit. A run will score to make it 7-0. Bases are still loaded full of Eagles. And Albert. 5 RBIs on the years. Daly Garland up there 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Grounded out to short, drove in a run. Grounded out to third in the 4th inning. 7-0. A run will score, and the game will be over on the 8-run rule. 0-1 to count there. Yep. Bottom of the 5th inning. The 0-1 now. Fly ball in the center field. And that will be the ball game. Hill will score. And that's the ball game. 8-0 victory there as they scored 3 runs there. And an 8-0 victory. On just 3 hits there. And there were no errors. And Central Methodist wins it 8-0. So 8 runs. I believe.
You see that at the end of game 1. So when he was done talking, go ahead and hit live and then archive.
6, 7. 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for Graceland. Central Methodist, of course, productive day 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 more in the 4th, and then they added 3 more in the 5th inning for the 8-0 shutout there. They are now 19-4, 3-0 in the conference. Graceland goes to 2-1 and 9-18 all year. What a great day for Chloe Perkins. Her 2nd win of the year and a 4-hit performance there. So a great start there as well. 2nd game, I know it starts at 3 o'clock, but we may start early. But we will wait and see what they say. Quentin Norton St. Saul will see you in a while on the Heart Conference Network.